All right, good morning and welcome to Wonderful Wednesdays at Westport. Glad to have you joining us this morning. If you're not actually with us in real time, we're glad to have you as well. But if you are joining us, please let us know, and we'd love your comments. We love to hear from our customers. Just wanted to let you know what's going on. It's kind of a busy time of the year with the July 4th holiday coming up on Monday. And yes, we will be closed on Monday, so don't try to come by. But for the next 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we will be having our end of the month, end of the bolt sale. I'm extending that for 3 days. So come in and take advantage of that. If you buy a yard of fabric or more of any fabric, you get 25% off. If you buy what's left on a bolt, you get 35% off. And all of our pre-cuts are 25% off as well. I wanted to show you a really pretty little sample that Charlie made with our new Promenade fabrics from Moda. Isn't this sweet? Make
Yes,
a nice little
is.
table topper, or you can make more blocks and make it into a quilt. And that we have that will be on sale tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, along with all of our other fabrics. So just wanted to show you that. I think that turned out really well. As far as classes coming up, this is still my June calendar. We haven't switched over to July yet because technically it is still June. The next couple of weeks we don't have a lot scheduled as far as classes because it's a busy time, as I said, for everyone. But on July the 7th, next Thursday, we will have our sit and sew, our monthly sit and sew, which is on the first Thursday from 10 to 4. Love to have you join us. I have a Bernina new owners class on Wednesday from 10 to 2 for those of you who have new 4, 5, or 7 series Berninas. And then Barbara's got a lot coming up in the month of July, later in the month, that we'll tell you about in a minute. We did have one cancellation in our kids camp, so if you let us know really quickly, I think you could get a spot. And we are also willing, if we have others after that who want a class, we would open up an afternoon class. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. So let's walk around a little bit. Hey, Ethan.
Good morning.
And Polly. Just wanted to remind you about the brother promotions that are going on right now. Actually, this one hasn't started yet. It started to be on sale. It will have 60 months, 0% interest financing, and a free 7x14 Hoopnetic sash border frame. So if you're really interested in quilting in the hoop, Barbara absolutely loves that hoop. And that comes free with your purchase of the Stellaire from July 8th through the 18th, along with the 0% financing. We still have the 0% financing through the month of July on the Luminaire, which is an awesome, awesome machine. If you haven't taken a close look at it, you really should. I mean, everybody who owns this machine absolutely loves it. Last 2 days for the Bernina Sweet Deals. Those go through the 30th. And what that looks like is you get extra savings off the sale price on any Bernina over $2,000, I believe. We still have our own special going on. I'm going to walk over this way. Russell's the special. If you buy a $770 with embroidery, you get bumped up to the $790, which is quite an awesome opportunity. This is actually my machine that I own myself, and I absolutely love it. So you're getting a $790 for the price of the $770 QEE, which means it has embroidery. Then Janome, which I'm not standing by a Janome, but Janome has 0% financing on anything over $3,500, which is really great, from now until July the 6th. So if you want that M7, if you want that awesome new M17 or anything in between, you have the opportunity for the 0% financing for 60 months. And as I said again, we have our end of the month, end of the bolt sale. that we want you to participate in. So we'll just take a quick swing through the fabrics. See if you see anything you like. Here are our sale fabrics for $4.99 a yard. We have expanded our collection of wide backs right here. Some really nice yarn dyed wovens. And then of course our color wall with our Kona solids. And also our other background, our other blender that I really like that looks almost like a solid, but it actually has a little bit of texture to it, are the cross weaves by Bennertex, which I'm crazy about and we've done real well with. I love all the colors. Yeah, we're rather colorful around here, as you can see. And for those of you who haven't noticed, we have redone our fabric area, and I think it's much more open and looks so much better. You can really see what we have. Let's walk right here. Are our fossil ferns, our new hues, and some other blenders. We'll be getting our Christmas and Halloween fabrics out in the next few days, so be on the lookout. If you're looking for those, be on the lookout for that. Again, we've got some empty spaces now that we have all these new shelving units. Here's the Promenade collection that I showed you the sample for right here. I think it's really lovely. And our gorgeous batiks, and I had one of my fabric reps in yesterday, and she helped us kind of rework our batiks so you can kind of see the colors and the patterns. So I think they really look great. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 shelves full of batiks. I know we've got a lot of batik lovers out there. And then we have our just our basics, black and white and so forth. And looky here is Miss Barbara.
Well, hello everybody, how's it going this morning?
So she's got a good little demo for you with some good information, so I'm going to turn it over to her if you all will. Did you have something to say before we?
Well, I just, happy 4th of July to everybody.
Absolutely.
And I hope you stay safe and watch out for those fireworks. Be careful with them. This morning, I've had several questions this week about, well, what kind of needle do I use for knits? Or why can't I just use one needle? Well, first of all, if you're going to be quilting or sewing or embroidering, you need to change your needle about every 8 hours of sewing, because your needles do get dull. And so we don't want to do things like that with our needles and mess up our fabrics with a needle that's not sharp. Now, speaking of sharp needles, we have a display of Schmidt's needles here, and we also carry organ needles. And with these needles, there's different needles for different applications. For instance, if you're going to sew on knits or stretchy type fabric, you want to use a ballpoint needle. And there's 4 types of ballpoint needles. There's a ballpoint, it's called a ballpoint. There's a jersey needle, a universal needle, and a lot of people don't realize that the universal needle is a ballpoint needle. And then there's the stretch needle. So, and we carry all these needles. Then also, if you're sewing on leather or vinyl or any kind of plastic, then you want to use a leather needle, because it penetrates the plastic a lot easier, and it makes a world of difference in your sewing or your embroidery or whatever you happen to be doing. And then if you're going to be embroidering or quilting, we have quilting needles, we have embroidery needles, but we also have a Microtex needle. And it's an extremely sharp needle, and that's what I use for quilting and for embroidery.
Well, yeah, that's my go-to.
Yeah, it's a Microtex sharp. And a lot of machines, if you use a needle less than about a 75 or 80, the needles have a tendency to not thread through your machine if you have a threader. And that's because of the size of the hole in the needle that you put your thread through, and the threader itself. But if you have problems with it, just realize that it could be just your needle. And so I usually use an 80 or above in doing things. And speaking of, when you're doing embroidery, you want to use a microtex that is at least a 90. And if you're doing leather or plastics, you want to use at least a 90 to 100. And because it makes a big difference in it. We also have the top stitch needles. Twin needles are great if you're doing decorative stitching to put 2 threads through. The way you do that is you take your 2 threads and run it through your machine together. Then when you get down to the bottom, you can't use your threader. You have to thread each individual needle with a different thread. It makes a beautiful top stitch. Also, the wing needles make a beautiful heirloom type thing. Then we do have the jeans and denim needles here, and these needles you also need to use about a 90 on those too. They're great needles, and it's just you know, come if you need some information about it. Come talk to us. We'll be glad to talk to you about them. Also, the metallic needles are something that a lot of people are afraid to use metallic thread. Well, if you use it right, then it's going to work for you. You need to use at least a 90 needle. You need to use a metallic needle because of the way they're made. And they're made to take metallic thread, and it gives a bigger opening in the opening for the thread. And so you need to set your metallic thread away from your machine. And sometimes I'll take my metallic thread, if it curls real bad, I'll take it, put it on the floor, and run it up to a stand and then over to the machine. Just because I know that if you stretch it out, it's going to not curl up on you so bad. And that's one of the things it does, it twists around your threader, which is not a good thing. So anyway, and also there's a product called Sewer's Aid that if you have trouble with your thread breaking, or if you have trouble with it not working just right or shredding, if you use Sewer's Aid on it, and what you do is take a spool of thread and you put a bead of Sewer's Aid down 4 sides of the thread, and that will make a difference in the way your thread goes through your needle. But don't be afraid to use metallic threads because they're great and they're beautiful. In fact, I did a quilt the other day and quilted it on our long arm, our Bernina long arm machine, and threaded it, used metallic thread and quilted the whole thing with metallic thread. And it turned out beautifully. So now coming up, we're going to be having an embroidery club at Clarksville. We had one last week here in Westport, but in Clarksville we're going to have one. Chris, if you'll come with me. Toward the end of July, and we're going to be making this really cute pin cushion and thread catcher, and you'll have your choice of polka dots to use, or maybe you're a U of L or UK fan and you'd rather have those with that. And so, you know, make your plans to come. Also, we're going to have a collage quilt, and I'm going to show you these collages over here on the wall. And we have our Laura Star here. And these are collage quilts that we're going to be teaching you techniques of how to do that. So if you're interested in this class, come see me and let me talk to you about what you need to do in advance, because you do have a little pre-work to do for the class. Anyway, this is a beautiful weekend coming up. Have a lot of fun, enjoy yourself. Come see us, come to our sale, and you can get some good deals on some fabric. So anyway, thanks so much for being with us today, and come see us. Thank you so much, and have a great 4th.